You've got to learn how to win. You've got to be able to break through and win those events. It's the big wins that count. Obviously, consistency on the bottom line is maybe more important than the wins, but you've got to put them together to win a world title. And these are the sorts of heats where you see whether the person challenging for that world title has what it takes.
Of the morning, and we have another big one here with the man sitting in second position on the Jeep leaderboard with a big chance at seizing the Jeep leader's jersey. Kolohe Andino had this one during the break. Ronnie Blakey with Barton Lynch and Sal Masakela. Barton, why don't you take us through this ride?
Well, he's had a couple of great turns already. A good start to the heat, and we've seen this morning that the start is all important. 35 minutes, so a lot of time. But at the same time, you waste that time, oh my gosh, you can find yourself in a precarious situation. And we've seen a couple of them in the first two heats of the day already. Replay of Deivid Silva, there's that backhand attack. It's so beautiful. It's a fast one, running down the line, just staying right there in the pocket, building points. The section comes down in front of him. And it's not often that someone wins first time around. So you go into the world title race, you learn the lessons, and then hopefully you get one. Deivid Silva driving, Ronnie.
Plenty of power in that first turn, but keeps that down the line flow happening to get back out in front of this one. Banks off the bottom. Absolute power and release in the tail there. Still hammering away. Jams it once again. Great rhythm, good sequence of turns, picked his moments, and when they came, he really delivered.
Bang again.
Some guys, Barton, want to find just the combos and flow from one turn into the next. Sometimes you're better off just racing and picking your moment and unloading like this.
Absolutely, and from a wave selection point of view, ordinarily you want to find the ones that have a good pace. This one was, as a goofy footer, was just on the verge of too fast, and as Sal said, he just made some subtle adjustments along the way, coming out of the top, and at moments where we thought he was going to be too deep. You see here, just this little pump up onto the lip, and then you go, oh no, he might be too deep. Gets in front of it again. Has the time though, has to wait for it to slow down. Gets another vertical, beautiful re-entry. If this can come in front of the 5-5 from Kolohe, it's going to put him in a great situation, because that was not an amazing set wave. Definitely ran and definitely gave him a lot of time and opportunity, as long as he kept his nose in front of that breaking part of the wave.
Andino had a look at one there on the outside, looked down the line, couldn't see that big face, so he kicked out. Back to the takeoff zone for priority. Ooh. A unique wave too, helps you generate a special amount of speed. Kolohe Andino picking this one as an opportunity to get a good score on the board. It's a little wobbly on the outside here, so he hasn't had the opportunity to do a major turn. There's something a little more critical. Drifts that tail, climbs the roof for a moment here. Nice float, looking to set up the inside run here. Didn't quite connect with that section. Goes to the front side carb, rips it through the face of the wave, and now loading up for a big finish. Places that front side floating re-entry nicely, Strider. But start to finish, it was a tricky wave to read, to what Deivid Silva did on the previous ride. He was right on note.
Yeah, singing out of tune. That was amazing, Ronnie.
Thank you, Sal.
I felt like at the start, Sal, when I looked at that, I went, this isn't a priority wave. This isn't the sort of wave you'd wait with priority to go. You would wait for a more substantial set and really put. But then it's towards the end here. The other angle showed how tight all the turns were too, right in the pocket, all in that perfect place. And then the finish sort of had the type of finish the judges eat up.
When I think of Kolohe Andino, I think of someone who got on tour almost a little early relative to where he was at physically, as we see Deivid Silva here.
Pumping away, just driving. He'll cover a lot of distance before this wave slows up and allows the first turn. Jams up into it. There's some whales pass on the outside.
Nope.
And he's going to get a little stuck behind this one. Found that release, teed off on the section, but that's the danger. Overcommitting on those reeling, fast-paced waves. It's easy to get caught behind.
All of the bouncing. An unfortunate waste of priority, really, right there, and handing it over to Kolohe once he's had the 6-8-3. To stay in the match, to stay competitive, that needed to be a score in my mind to keep the pressure on, because you don't want to take it off Kolohe. And at that angle actually made what he did look better, but at the same time, look what he just missed as it peels down the line.
I guess the thing that is working for Kolohe now is, after 8 years on tour, our expectations of his performance have lowered. So the expectation is only pressure coming from himself, and he has a lot of expectation in this heat, because if he gets through this one and cracks the quarterfinals, he will be moving into the number 1 position on the Jeep leaderboard. 9.5 minutes remaining here in Heat 3, the round of 16. A spot in the quarterfinals up for grabs for Kolohe Andino or Deivid Silva of Brazil. Andino up at the moment, trying to get rid of a 5.5. Cleaner looking face. And a beautiful start to this ride, up into the lip. Great variation through those first 2 manoeuvres. Again, banking on that rail. Climbs up into the foam, just a transition turn. Flowing beautifully through this ride. Tucks into the barrel. Can he punch his way through? Still driving. Ahead of John Florence, points-wise, if he progresses through to the quarterfinals here. Let's have a look at his last ride.
Beautiful first carve, and you could see this wave. These are the waves you want to get because the pace of it is absolutely beautiful. There's no struggle at any time. You can go square off the bottom, straight into the lip, and it just was so well done. At this point, I thought, this is the nail in the coffin. Got caught a little bit behind there and missed the last turn, pulled into a closeout barrel. So some points left maybe right at the very end here. But at the same time, the early work was composed, it was controlled, it was beautifully done, and it felt like he was having a little Sunday stroll through the park. No pressure, no nothing. And it was like, oh, Kolohe's in a great position in this heat now. But then after it...
And the Brazilian will have a chance on the outside to potentially change up the order in this heat. Deivid Silva was looking for a 6.17. That requirement might be bigger after Andino's last ride. Beautiful turn there.
Oh,
and places another one right there in the perfect spot, right in the most critical part of the wave. Unfortunately goes down. Started that wave off so strong.
The level of performance.
Sal, I know you appreciate the backhand surfing. Take us through this one.
I think it's this turn after this one that got... Yeah, there's this one, and then just straight upside down. 3 in a row. I mean, you could argue that just those 3 turns alone, he falls on this one.
He might not have a lip to tee off on. I don't know that Kolohe needs to take off on this wave down here, but he's looking to improve and build on that 5.87. Well,
he's going to look to launch here. Was eyeing off a ramp section, but if you get a first turn wrong like that on a medium, smaller sort of wave, you have to do something super dynamic in order to turn in a good score, and he was thinking something big on the inside. The section didn't really allow it. It didn't ramp up for him.
Here we go. Let's have a look, because I agree with you, Ronnie. This is a smaller wave. His energy isn't really there. It's almost like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this at this point when you got the lead? But he wants to show the judges something different. He wants to mix it up. He wants to give them a look at something and show them what else he's got in that bag of tricks. Good air. He obviously completed a little bit of a difficult job there to get out of the white one. A little time left in there, but I personally feel like we're at a point break with a zillion turns left in it. That was a great air, though.
It was. It's amazing how different the angle is. First camera angle, you're looking at it. It looks a little flat, not a lot of height. Move into that number 1 position on the Jeep leaderboard. Still, a lot of surfing to be done in this event. Felipe Toledo, Kanoa Igarashi also had the opportunity to take the Jeep ratings lead, but at the moment, Kolohe Andino is your world number 1.